Right, here's a front stance, Steve, if you would. Gives an arm. Right, you resist me, you root, you do whatever you want, you use muscles, grab hold of that. Right, so I'm trying to, ooh, bloody hell. That's serious rooting, that is. Right, so if I attack the knee gates, me, come to daddy. Try that, it works, okay? If you want to ridicule it, fine. If you haven't got the balls to try it, fine. It works. You can do that with external sound, as we saw, whisper, internal sound, or once you've trained your intent, you just go, really? Come on, come on, come on, come on. You just use your intent. The idea of intent is you don't need to do something first before you do what you want to do. An example, one fantastic way of generating energy for a punch is use a hip and then strike, or a double hip. You're doing stuff before you do stuff, it's too slow. You want that energy and you just go bang. You can't do a preemptive waveform strike because you just, it's not going to work. Unless it's a pub fight and somebody's smacking your mate and you've got time for that step side kick or that waveform because nobody's on you. Anyway, that's the kettle of fish. So, let's try elbows. So we're going to use a word. So we put, oh bloody hell. Right, so we're going to go pale, 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 and that's a word. So for these gates you've got words that you can repeat, or you've got a sound, a resonant sound you can use. And what it does internally, externally, and with a whisper are to do with modulating chakras. And if you know all that, you can get stuff done. Very few people know it to that depth, and you can be messed up easily by somebody who's got a little bit of energy that you haven't got. Especially if you take your Ki, Japanese systems, versus Chi, Chinese systems. You won't be able to beat that guy with Chi, and you won't be able to beat that guy with Ki. If you've got both, it's all good. Right, so now we're going to use one of the 6 universal posture sets to get some Ki energy, but set 2 runs the micro meridians. It doesn't go anywhere near the normal meridians. Micro meridians in the skin, and they're probably sensory nerves, but I've called them micro meridians because I need to give them a name. I've seen nothing documented, nothing on the internet. My theory. So what happens is, you stimulate those meridians via the gates like we just did. You put the guy in what you could call a Faraday cage. All his energy comes in. The more he fights it, the weaker he goes. And he's moving him out like a girl. There you go. So we're going to do that and retest. Thank you very much. I hope you got all that. I'll be asking questions. Okay, part 2, we have done the postures. You get the Ki into the micro meridians, which are probably sensory nerves. My dog's barking, so he knows it's good. So we've got, these gates are still messed up, but if we can protect the micro meridians, we should be able to move the people around. So if we try again, not try this, so it might not work. I'm quite happy that it will. Come to me. Solid as a rock. I nearly did a wheelie. So that's sweet. Now what we need to do is check that the gates are still messed up. So again, I've not tried this. So if we do some kinesiology, Steve. Strong. So I'm going to do the same thing. Me, try to resist it. So it does that negative vibration get into the gates and affect the nervous system. So the gates are still messed up, but it doesn't get to the skin. So you're not going to get thrown about like a rag doll. That's about as sweet as I could get that. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Boom. So now we've done the cleansing posture. The gates should be working. So if we attack, kinesiology please Steve, like we did, with the resonant sound, me. Not only does it not make him weak or lighter, but the gates are working. So if your gates are working, if you're in a good location, you'll pick up the positive. In a bad location, they'll close down and stop losing the positive, and also stop gaining negative. I love it when a plan comes together. Thank you.